Hello guys, this is Spicy Bill and welcome to my first Bandai Gundam fixed figuration review. So this one here is the Guncannon, which is number 0028. I don't think they were gonna, I think originally they were planning to make like thousands of these, but yeah, I think it fell very short of that numbering. So anyway, this line is long discontinued. This line predates Robot Damashii, and it was was originally introduced in the early to mid 2000s. And obviously, these are all made in China. This line was produced by Hajime Katoki, and it was modeled by Kenichi Miyashita. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the box real quick. Obviously, we have the specs right here for the Guncannon and all the accessories right there. If you want to just pause the video and take a look at that. It's really not, this packaging is horrible. I'm just going to say it right there. It's fucking terrible. All right. Okay, so anyway, yeah, getting the stuff out of the box is a pain in the asshole. So anyway, here we have the RX-77-2 right here. And right here is the RX-77D Guncannon mass production type. And we have all this stuff right here. So, alright. And is there pricing? Oh, here's UPC, blah, blah, blah. Is recommended for ages 15 and up. Yeah, really take that into consideration because this is not something you want to play around with. The joints are very brittle. Pretty much everybody that I know has broken one or two of these. Anybody who buy something from this particular line has already broken something. So just be aware of that. This is the, sometimes Robot Damashii are very, problematic, but these are even more problematic. Basically, what you're going to be doing with these figures is probably just putting them on display. You put them in whatever configuration you want it to be in the, the Guncannon RX-77-2 mode, or you want to do RX-77D, the mass production type, and that's it. And yeah. I guess if you bought them in the early 2000s, you get them for you get them at a very low price, and you can just get a whole bunch of them and have it in your collection. They look really good. I mean, to be honest with you, if you're not doing anything with these, I think these actually look better than high-grade Universal Sentry, and even better than Robot Damashii, because you don't have to deal with a lot of the modern technology that kind of takes away at the aesthetics. The aesthetics, the appearance of the mobile suit. So let me give you an example right here. I have the high-grade Universal Sentry HUC 144 scale Guncannon Revive, and you can just see that the elbow joints. While they're very good for posing, for posing obviously, and for articulation, they don't look that that appealing compared to the the fixed figuration. This thing just all streamlined. It just it actually does look a bit more visually pleasing. And also you see the shoulder joints with the ball joints right here. The absence of that does make the appearance, the overall appearance, a lot better. So anyway, obviously this thing is in the 1/144 scale. It's pretty much the exact same height as the Guncannon. High-grade Revive Guncannon, and you can see here no joint parts. It just looks nice, especially if this is something you just want to display. Obviously, you can do a lot more with the the model kit and the Robot Damashii figure. You can pose them in crazy poses and stuff like that, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. These are just something that you just want to have it display on a very nice shelf, maybe whatever it is that you want to use for displaying your model, your Gunpla, or not Gunpla, your Gundam figures. So anyway, these guys are going for around maybe think anywhere between 60 to 100 US dollars right now in 2019. So, you know, I have this available on eBay right now for $85 ship. So if anybody is interested, that all that proceed will go to fund future content. And this figure is sponsored by my friend Rob at Bad Toy Nation. So thank you, Rob, for you know, hooking me up with this very, very old figure. But it's still very nice. So anyway, we'll talk about this sheet first. This is Waterslide Decals, and this is what happened with Waterslide Decals. You know, age. This is like 10 years of aging on this Waterslide Decals. So, I mean, it's like it lost all its adhesive probabilities. So basically, you know, you can still cut these out and still apply it onto the figure, but you do have to apply, you know, some of those, you have to apply glue to it, like Mr. Mark Setter and stuff like that. So, I mean, it still works if you want to use it, or if anybody who's interested in using it. Unfortunately, you know, Waterslide Decals in a box that's over 13 years old, it's probably not going to survive. So there we go, there's a Waterslide decal. And here we have the instructions on how to convert this guy into the mass production type and stuff like that, and how to use the stand. So first off, I'm gonna show you guys the stand. Okay, this thing right here. I can pretty much tell you that this thing is not gonna be very useful. It's kind of like the precursor to the Bandai's dynamic stand, or, you know, yeah, it's just not that very, it's not very well designed. And to be honest with you, I'm very skeptical about this thing. I feel like this thing's just gonna break on me, so I kind of don't want to show it because I don't want to break this thing on camera and just embarrass myself. It does have spring-loaded mechanisms, sort of spring-loaded mechanism. Okay, I didn't break that. This is a separate piece. But anyway, you get the idea. It's very. I'm just super skeptical about it. So let me just show you how you can attach this guy onto the stand. Obviously, we got some attachment point here on the hip section. You can see that right here. You can pull off that section right there. And then if you want to display it in, like, you know, like it's flying or something. Not a good idea. I don't recommend doing it, so let's just not even talk about it. Yeah, it's, I can tell you, these things are quite flimsy and not interested in breaking this. Not on camera. Not ever. So anyway, we got the regular stand, which are a lot more useful. Basically, you just peg in these holes right here onto these pegs right there, pegging these holes to the pegs. Let me adjust the camera real quick, and we can do that. So just push it down like that. There we go. Makes me nervous every time I'm trying to put this thing on here. I feel like those pegs are gonna break and then the figure's gonna fall over. But hey, it works, right? And it says Gundam Fix Figuration number 0028, RX-77-2, RX-77D Guncannon. Kai Shiden and Hayato Kobayashi, UC 0079, Earth Federation Space Force. Okay, so anyway, let's not risk breaking this thing. Alright, so then we have the stand. Let's see, on the bottom it says Bandai 2005. Made where? Oh, made in China. Okay, I thought it says made in Japan, but okay. So anyway, this is what you can do with this figure is you can do some quick configurations. First off, be very careful and remove the backpack. There we go. Yeah, this piece likes to fall off very, very often. And what you want to do is you want to remove these cannons. So there we go. The cannons come off very easily. And if you don't like having the WB-108, you can also replace this piece. So let's go ahead and just remove that. So in order to remove the whole you know, the whole chest section, you need to remove the whole entire torso like that. And you will need to remove the arms. So there we go. The arm is just on the ball joint like that. And let's go ahead and get this arm off. You want to take your time. You don't want to force it because these can break very easily. So I mean, if it breaks, you still got a whole complete torso here. These are exactly the same, just this one doesn't have the WB 108. And WB stands for white base. That's the you know, the ship that if you watch the you know, the original series, that's like the ship that carries you know, the Federation suits, the RX-77-2 and this guy, the Guncannon. Okay, so you want to remove this chest piece right here. Let's go ahead and follow the instruction real quick. Make sure we don't break anything. All right. Yeah, it's making me nervous doing this. So anyway, let's go ahead and remove that top piece right here. I think this top piece needs to come out before the chest section can come out. So there we go. Okay, there we go. That came off. So I mean, to put this back together is very simple. You just put this piece back in here like that. Put the chest section back on. I'm not gonna like make it super tight this time. Just you know, kind of loose, so I can you know, eventually do that in the next part of the review. So there we go. No more WB 108. And you also come with extra armor for this leg section right here, so you can do that too. So basically you just untap the oh, there goes the skirt. Be very careful and just pry this thing open like so, like that. Once again, be very careful with this. You don't want to break the pegs. That would be terrible. And then you take this piece right here. This is the one without any markings. And then you peg that in here. Then you take this piece and you peg that in here like so. Alright, and then obviously you put the front skirt back on. We're not changing any of the other armor parts yet. And you want to replace the feet right here. This is very simple. Just pull this out, set that over here, stick that in. Now you have no, you know, this is now a unit that has no unit number. Then you put the arms back in there very carefully, of course. Just gently work it in. I don't know. I'm very skeptical. Oh, there we go. Alright, I got it in and it didn't break. So I'm very happy. There we go. And there we have it. Okay, so what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to install these missile pods. So this unit right here is going to have the missile pods. There we go. Missile pods go in. Missile pods go in. Then we attach the head unit right here, like that. There's a little tab right there, and then we just push that down. Again, very careful. Now you attach the backpack. Move this forward. Attach the... Yeah, like I said, this piece likes to come off. But it's okay. This is only a problem for the regular Guncannon version. The mass production type got a whole different backpack. So there we go. Here we have the Guncannon with the missile pods. Now for high-grade Universal Sentry fan, I think you can get like an exclusive version of the revived Guncannon with the missile pods. I think it's called the Real Color version or something. I don't know if that's like a Gundam-based exclusive or it's like a premium Bandai, but I'll look into it. And that's something that you can get. So I don't know what is going on with this feet. I think that joint is kind of stuck, so the feet just don't want to move. Oh, there we go. I gotta loosen up. There we go. I gotta loosen up and it's not broken. So that's perfect. Okay, and obviously you can also change out the hands. Again, you want to be very careful with these hands. There we go. They're kind of rubbery, so it's not like, well, actually the herb, you know what, they're better than the Robot Damashii hands. Because look, ball joints and ball socket, unlike the other way around. So what the hell were they doing with fucking Robot Damashii? Like, why do they have to reverse the design? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, just gonna go ahead and get this hand attached to the beam rifle, if I can. Again, these are very soft, rubbery material. So I think I can get it in there without breaking any of the digits. Oh, there we go. Not too bad. The sight can move, can be adjusted. So there we go. Wow, that's nice. You know what? I might have to change my opinions about these Gundam fixed figuration figures. I have seen a lot of people break the Robot Damashii figure too, so. So either Robot Damashii is overrated or these Gundam fixed figuration are underrated, but shit breaks, man. Alright, so there we go. Here's the Guncannon in the other mode. Looking super nice. Look at that backpack. That is very nice. And here we have the high-grade Universal Sentry, the Gunpla, the model kit, versus the figure. I wouldn't call these guys action figures like Robot Damashii. I would say they're more like, you know, collectible figures, stuff like that, because the articulation are pretty much non-existent. But, you know what, just to be thorough, let me go over the articulation. Obviously, for the feet, we have a ball joint that goes into the feet. So you can articulate that, barely get any kind of articulation out of it. Yeah. And then obviously you get a bend at the knee. I don't know how far you can bend it without shit breaking, but alright, so there we go. And it didn't break, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so double jointed. It feels like double jointed. It feels like there's another hinge up here, but I'm not gonna risk it. Alright, so obviously with the hips, we got the ball joint to, yeah, the ball socket to the ball joint. So kind of like old style Gunpla. And the front skirt just came off. Oh, and you know what? Individually articulated front skirts. So that ain't too bad. You know, if you're not afraid about breaking this figure, I'm sure you can get it into some decent poses. I mean, if you know how to fix figures, well, I know how to fix figures too, but I kind of don't want to break something that I want to sell on eBay. So we have the waist articulation. Obviously, no ab crunch. That's new technology that doesn't exist back in 2006. We have the ball joint here for the shoulders. Obviously, this is hindered because this armor piece kind of like just gets in the way. The arm can go out that far, forward and back. Believe it or not, we have the bicep swivel. Yeah, we have a working bicep swivel. So this thing can rotate all the way around. And we have sort of an elbow bend. This is as far as you can get it. It's not even 90 degrees. I mean, I don't want to risk it. So anyway, the head is on a ball joint, I think. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the head. I think it's just a peg. You can rotate, that's it. The head can rotate. So not much articulation there. Obviously the hand's on a ball joint. You already seen that, me taking it off. You can hinge these cannons or missile pods up and down. And that's pretty much it for the articulation. The gun is very nice though. I really, this is a lot better than the model kit, the Gunpla. And it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. This thing is not going to break on you. So yeah, overall I think this is very nicely detailed. Unfortunately, I have no experience with the Robot Damashii version, anime version of the Guncannon. I heard that was a pretty decent figure too, but I really like this Guncannon. If budget isn't an issue, I would probably want to keep this guy. But unfortunately, budget is an issue, so this guy's up for sale, and it's perfect too. It's in the 1/44 scale. So I can have like a little army of these gun cannons. In fact, I actually prefer this over the high-grade Universal Sentry. And that's something you won't hear me say on this channel very often. High-grade Universal Sentry is like the, the core of my entire collection. So anyway, stay tuned for part 2 where I'm going to convert this guy into the RX-77-D. Guncannon mass production type. Thanks for watching.